Good morning. Is my microphone on? Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Wayne County Commission to order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
The board is now open for roll call. Commissioner Marecki and Vice Chair Palomera have requested an excuse. You have a quorum present.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
Republic which stands one nation.
Okay. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Invocation.
Today we will have the introduction of our invocator by Commissioner Kinlock.
Bishop Algernon Bartell was born on November 11, 1960, to the union of the late trustee David L. and sister Hazel Bartell. He was born in the city of Detroit, the 12th of 14 children born to this union. On May 8, 1995, tired of a life of sin and ready to surrender to his creator, Bishop Bartell was filled with the precious gift of the Holy Ghost just 3 weeks after he was baptized in the name of Jesus. Both events having taken place at the historic Clinton Street Greater Bethlehem Temple Church under the leadership of the late Bishop Castor V. Jackson. After receiving the Holy Ghost, Bishop Bartell was moved by God to go back to the same street corner that he frequented prior to salvation and witness to the men and women who knew him in his former life. His witness bore fruit. Those same men and women, God filled with the Holy Ghost, and they sit in pulpits and pews across the country. On August 29th, 1986, Bishop Bartell was united in holy matrimony to Sister Teresa Hopkins. They have been blessed to be the parents of sons Algernon, Richard, Jonathan, Joshua, and daughter Angelica, and they are also proud grandparents. While sitting in the sanctuary of Clinton Street on the left side of the pulpit in the second row in prayer, Elder Bartell had a vision of heaven opening and a voice saying, "Deliver and go preach my word." After discussing this vision with then Pastor Bishop Castor Jackson and receiving the confirmation of his calling, then Minister Bartell was ordained an elder and has since endeavored to fulfill this calling on the pulpit as well as on the streets of the city of Detroit. Bishop Bartell and his siblings have created two organizations that provide training and assistance to youth of Detroit. They are the David L. Bartell Mentoring Program for Young Men and Hazel's Helping Hands, an initiative directed towards young men in the city of Detroit. This great institution that Bishop Bartell pastors has touched many lives over the years. The historic Clinton Street Greater Bethlehem Temple, myself, and many other young people came to know Jesus at this church. I call this my church home. I call this my extended church family. It's my indeed pleasure to bring to you Elder Algernon Bartell.
Let us look to the Lord. Lord God of grace, we thank you for your goodness and for your kindness. We insufficient of ourselves to think anything of ourselves. Look upon this quorum, O God. Let your name be glorified. Let this group work as one, O God. God, you are God of one. Look beyond all of our faults and see our needs, O God. Give us one mind, one vision, one goal, so we can glorify your great name. We ask these blessings right now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Bishop Bartell, for that inspirational prayer this morning, for being with us this morning. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun,
Move for approval.
their support. Supported by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion on the journal? Hearing none, please vote. IT support.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Report from the chair.
Nothing this morning. Next item.
We're moving to page 2 of the agenda, unfinished business. There is none listed. We're moving to offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are none listed. Reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on the Criminal Justice Complex. There is one item listed.
Hey, thank you so much. For those of you who are not familiar with our process, we vote and have our thorough discussion and vetting process through the committee. And then after the committees are voted on, they come here for final disposition. For the first report, Criminal Justice Complex, Commissioner Kinlock.
Madam Chair, move approval of the report.
Moved by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Commissioner Killeen. This is a receive and file item for items pertaining to the Criminal Justice Center. Any discussion or questions on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're on report B from the Committee on Economic Development. There are 3 items listed.
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Committee met and considered 3 items, and I'm recommending that we approve those items for the full board.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson.
Kinlock.
I'm sorry, Economic Development. Oh,
I'm supporting it, I'm sorry.
moved by Commissioner Anderson, supported by Commissioner Kinlock. Any discussion on the Economic Development Report? Any discussion on the 3 items on economic development? Hearing none, please vote.
Bless you.
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner Scott. Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Next item, please.
We're on report C from the Committee on Public Services. There are 6 items listed on pages 3 through 5 of the agenda.
Okay, the next senior person on the Committee on Public Services is Vice Chair Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move items 1 through 6 on.
Items 1 through 6 have been moved on the Committee on Public Services, moved by Commissioner Baydun, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Discussion, Commissioner Knizik.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With the permission of the Vice Chair of the committee, I'd like to be the maker of the motion on item 3.
Granted.
Noted. Commissioner Garza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to request abstention on item number 3.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the Public Services Report? Please vote.
Motion carries. I have Commissioner Knizik as the maker of the motion on item number 3, Commissioner Garza as an abstention on item number 3.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on report D from the Committee on Ways and Means. There are 3 items listed on pages 5 and 6 of the agenda.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Kinlock, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydun. Discussion, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be a no on this. I think this is something that the city of Detroit should be paying for and not the county. That's all.
A
Thank
no
you.
on
Pardon me?
which item?
Oh, I'm sorry. would be the number one item.
Thank you. Commissioner Dobb?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to abstain on item number 1.
Duly noted.
Any additional discussion on the Ways and Means report? Hearing none, please vote.
Commissioner Anderson?
Motion carries. Commissioner Anderson as a no on item number 1 and Commissioner Dobb as an abstention on item number 1.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're on Report E from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 4 items listed on pages 6 and 7 of the agenda.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move approval on items 1 through 4, please.
Moved by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, the Committee on Health and Human Services items. Any discussion? Commissioner Knizik.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to abstain on item 4.
I'm sorry, it says, I'm looking at this differently.
No, we're
Um,
fixing it. She's fixing it.
Yep, duly noted. And let me repeat that. It's moved by Commissioner Scott,
What?
supported by Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Commissioner Knizik, you want abstention on which item? 4, thank you.
Any additional discussion on the Health and Human Services report? Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just at item number 2, the marijuana education piece. Is there anyone here to talk to that? What communications that we send out, and if we can actually get something for our districts to share? Okay.
No, we're handling it for you.
Director of Public Health Division. Yeah, we do, we are currently working with an advertising company just to put together some outreach and promotional items that we can give out. So we can definitely ensure that you are, that we send that out also to you all. It'll be educational material around just safe use and things like that. So, yeah.
And does it talk to, when you talk about safe use, because we know that children are getting a hold to like gummies and things of that nature? Is it going to
Yes, so
talk-
like safety bags, how to basically lock up any marijuana use of edibles or anything like that that can be in the reach of children. So we just talk about like lock bags, things along that nature. We have videos that will be promoted through gas stations as well that will also talk about that use as well, just around the safetiness of just making sure you have those things locked up and the risk of youth utilizing that as well.
And last question, does it indicate, or any of the advertisement talk about the possibility of like fentanyl and mixed in with marijuana or any issues
No,
around
we have not talked about
fentanyl?
that with that specifically for the marijuana use.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was just wondering if that was a subject matter, because that sometime is laced and all of that other, you know, so.
Yes.
Okay, but if we can get that communication, we can share it with our
No
districts.
problem. We
Thank
can
you.
definitely do that. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Before you go to that point, you mentioned that there'll be videos at party stores and gas stations or gas stations?
Gas stations, yes.
What other forms of media will you use? It'll be print, I presume. Will it be buses, billboards? What other forms of communications will there be?
We're working with the advertising on like social media platforms. Gas stations have been like the biggest use of being able to be visible to the public. And then the social media platforms have also then targeted around like the youth population, just around that education of just the use and for parents. So that I will say we have not done billboards or anything like that, but we are working with the advertising company right now to kind of figure out what is the best way to make sure that we get that messaging out there.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. To that point, I know I sent an email to the committee. Thank you so much, Antonisha, for making sure that I got answers. I did want to also lift up, so that we're not reinventing the wheel, there are a couple of campaigns across the United States that are doing this already. So I think we should lean into those. Colorado has one called the T. New Jersey has one called Cannabis Smart.
Yes.
Calhoun County has Lock It Up and Secure the Cannabis in Washington, just to see kind of what they're doing, if it's working, and then we, put our Wayne County thumbprint on it, but make it a best practice. I think we should look at those to see what they're doing and see how successful their campaigns are as well.
Yes, yes. And we've noted that as well, to just have our advertising and our outreach our outreach team to look at that, just to make sure, because we are revamping our campaign. Initially, it was blunt facts, so we're just looking at ways that we can capture and engage the public to that.
Thank you so much.
No
Thank you, Madam
problem.
Chair.
Thank you. Any additional discussion on the report? Additional? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries, and I've had Commissioner Knizik as an abstention on item number 4.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on report F from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 3 items listed.
Commissioner Garza?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move, receive, and file item number 1 and approval of items 2 and 3.
Moved by Commissioner Garza, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Any discussion on the public safety report? Discussion on public safety? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on report G from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 7 items listed.
Commissioner Clemente?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move this full report, being number 1, to receive and file, and 2 through 7 for approval.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Clemente, supported by Commissioner Wilson. Any discussion on the government operations report? Commissioner Peterson Mayberry?
Thank you. I do have one question to the administration. I know there's been a big shakeup with Oracle lately, with laying off individuals and restructuring, and I'm just wondering, does that impact our services with them at all?
Hello, good morning, Commissioners. Hector Roman, Director of IT, CIO. No, it would not impact our Oracle Fusion environment with the recent layoffs that Oracle's doing.
Thank you. Commissioner Dobb, do you want to speak a little bit about item number 2 from the Wayne County Commission, Women's Commission?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, when this was introduced, it was March, which is Women's History Month. And the theme this year for Women's History Month is Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future, which encompasses financial sustainability, community resilience, and intergenerational equality. According to the state of Michigan's 2024 Women in Michigan Workforce Report, women earned 68 cents per every dollar men earned, and this gap is even wider for women who are Black or Hispanic. Senate Bill 145, introduced by State Senator Sarah Anthony, addresses pay inequalities by protecting wage transparency and eliminating the use of prior wages and credit history as factors in employment decisions. Asking job applicants about their salary histories can inappropriately perpetuate the gender wage gap by enabling prospective employers to offer lower salaries to women. Numerous states have already enacted bans prohibiting employers from asking about or relying on an applicant's salary history, including California, Illinois, Massachusetts, New York, and Washington. Women make up roughly 51.7% of Wayne County's population. The passage of this bill would be a benefit to women and the overall economy of Wayne County. And so we're just asking that this resolution be passed so that it can be sent to all members of the Committee on Labor in the Senate so that we can get this passed and support women in Michigan and Wayne County. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Senator Anthony for introducing Bill 145 and for the Women's Commission for taking this resolution up as well. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one more question as it relates to item number 7. I appreciate, I think Tony Rafta from Savvy. There was a lot of conversation in committee around this action item. So I would love if the committee could be in receipt of what that plan looks like going forward, because there were some suggestions made. So before we go live, what does that plan look like? There was a plan presented in committee, but there were a lot of conversations and recommendations made as we move forward, and this is around the student loan debt.
So to the administration, as we move forward with Savvy Solutions, if you could circle back to the Committee on Government Operations on what exactly the plan looks like prior to the rollout, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Any additional discussion on Government Operations report? Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Madam Chair, item number 6, for this contract, this appears to be another Oracle contract. And so I'm going to vote no on that. And then number 3, I want to put on the record that if we can strengthen our ethics ordinance, our ethics board, I think it would help in alleviating some of the disputes and the financial costs as it relates to any elected official. So in the future, I would hope that we would look at the teeth that the ethics board has. Right now, it doesn't have any teeth, so it's not really serving the purpose that I think the intent of it is for. As we look at communities around us, even the city of Detroit, ethics board has teeth. And so I would hope that we would, in the future, create some amendments so that we can actually save our county monies and be able to do the work that the ethics board is supposed to do. So thank you, Madam Chair. So I will abstain from 3.
Abstain from 3? And it hasn't gone out yet. I suspect it's going out today, but I have reestablished a ethics task force, and Commissioner Alan Wilson will be chairing that. So in the upcoming weeks, there will be meetings scheduled by Commissioner Alan Wilson on the ethics task force to look at our current document and see what needs to be changed, added, deleted from that document.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. Is that a committee or?
Task force.
So task force. And are you appointing?
Small task force with Commissioner Dobb and Commissioner Kinlock and chaired by Commissioner Wilson.
Okay, I see. Because I was going to say if you didn't have all of the members that I would love to be a part of that, but I see you took care of that. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any additional discussion on the report?
Just
Commissioner Wilson.
quickly. Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I appreciate my colleague, Commissioner Baker McCormick, for those sentiments. I'm very honored to have the opportunity to chair the Ethics Task Force. As we are all collectively aware of, there are a lot of issues that we need to address in Wayne County as far as conduct, behavior, and all of the things that the ordinance probably doesn't cover or is not robust enough. So again, it's just a pleasure to be able to contribute to make sure that Wayne County remains a county that protects people's rights, that protects the statutes that we all have to abide by in terms of discrimination, nepotism, favoritism, the whole 9 yards. So I am going to do everything I possibly can to make sure that this ethics task force puts some teeth, if you will, where it's needed, and to ensure that Wayne County remains the respected county that it is today. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Look forward to your leadership on that task force. Any additional discussion on the report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries. And I have Commissioner Baker McCormick as an abstention on item number 3 and a no on item number 6.
Next item, please.
We're on page 11 of the agenda, upcoming meetings.
Okay, please note the upcoming meetings. As you are aware, the meetings scheduled for today are now scheduled for Thursday. Appreciate everyone's flexibility in that. And if there are any changes to the meeting schedule, please let the clerk know. Next item.
We're moving to new business immediate consideration. There is one item listed requesting commission approval of a resolution amending the Wayne County Transit Authority Articles of Incorporation to eliminate the option for communities to opt out of being a member of the Wayne County Transit Authority, allowing them to have direct access to a transportation operator such as the Suburban Mobility Authority for Regional Transportation, also known as SMART.
So last meeting, we appointed members to the Wayne County Transit Authority so that they can have updated members on that board. Today, these are changes to the articles that are before us, and you were given a fresh copy of the articles because the ones in the packet had a few typos. So you have a fresh copy of those articles. Today, we have Deputy County Executive Assad Turfy, who's going to go through the WCTA and their desire to put the millage on the ballot for this summer. Deputy County Executive Turfy.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us, Madam Chair and all the commissioners. Last month, the Wayne County Transit Authority voted to amend its Articles of Incorporation to comply with state law. The resolution is before you for commission approval. We have SMART here today to give a presentation. Jordan? Yep, I think that's the presentation you have up there.
Okay.
We'd have SMART give the presentation, and then any questions that anyone may have, I'll be able to jump in after the presentation. So, Jordan?
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jordan Von Zinda. I am the Vice President of Planning and Innovation at SMART, the regional transit provider for Southeast Michigan. I'd like to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. Next slide, please. So I'm going to talk briefly about our planning process and the transit evaluation that we've done ahead of this ballot measure. SMART has evaluated transit opportunities in the county and developed a plan to enhance the network and incorporate opt-out communities should the millage pass. This project included a study of existing conditions, market analysis to help us understand how people are moving throughout the county. And what economic factors should be considered in how service is developed. We utilized all this information along with several rounds of stakeholder and community engagement to develop service concepts tailored to the unique transit need of the communities throughout the county. Next slide, please. We looked at population density and employment density and trips, where folks are going throughout the county, and we came up with a lot of interesting data that informed this study. We highlighted areas where alternatives to traditional fixed route, the big buses that you see out there, might make more sense. We found that most trips in opt-out communities are short and tend to be between neighboring communities. Looked at those major travel flows and those communities with the large employment bases to inform our plan. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, we SMART engaged, we hosted 2 rounds of meetings with presentations from 19 communities, as well as advocacy groups and transit providers throughout the county to present findings from our analyses, answer questions, gather feedback for informing the service concepts plan that we developed. We discussed connectivity to key destinations within and across municipal borders, service gaps, and the changing landscape of development on industrial corridors and residential areas throughout the county. We also focused on equality and access, particularly the needs of seniors, people with disabilities, and workforce commuters. The next slide, please. So on this slide, we can see some of the recommendations that came out of our project and how they would be incorporated into the existing transit network. Large Wayne County opt-out communities that have a strong population and employment density are prime candidates for these fixed routes you see on the map here. Some extensions of existing routes and implementation of new routes is what we're recommending. If the ballot is successful. Exurban and rural communities may be more suited to a demand response, like a dial-a-ride model. And we see that in the southern and the western portions of the county. Next slide, please. All right, the recommendations that I just described, here's some more of them. The evaluations recommendations will provide a level of service to each community in the county and connect to the regional network. Existing SMART routes, as I mentioned, can be extended to serve communities, new communities, the southern and western portion of the counties. These are also proposed to serve employment dense communities like Livonia, Plymouth Township, and others. All of these recommendations build upon the SMART's existing network improvement project that's called Smarter Mobility, which is currently underway. We're improving services this year throughout the network. Next slide, please. All right, so these recommendations will double the amount of SMART service in Wayne County. This tracks with our financial plan and expected millage funding if county voters choose to opt all in. SMART currently receives about $23 million from opt-in communities annually to deliver service. An all-in service scenario would roughly double that amount. This means more operating assistance, not just to SMART, but to local providers currently operating throughout the community. Next slide, please. So what is next? With the core service concept drafts completed, our efforts are now turning to public outreach, education, and continued coordination with stakeholders, advocates, and other service providers. Service improvements in the county are already set to take effect over the course of this year in opt-in community as part of the Smarter Mobility Program. The route extensions and new services recommended as part of this effort are scheduled to begin rolling out in 2027 and continue through 2029 if the millage proposal is successful. SMART will hold public hearings and continue to refine the service concepts based on the feedback we receive leading up to implementation. Next slide, please. So the final slide is just my contact information. More than happy to answer questions or provide more information on our efforts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions? Any questions for Jordan at this time? Okay, thank you, Jordan. Oh, Commissioner Anderson, sorry.
I just wanted to ask, are we going to be considering this other than here? Are we going to have it in committee? An opportunity to dig in
more?
deeper?
So we could do a committee of the whole, but what our responsibility is confirming the board appointments, which we did at the last meeting, and then voting to amend articles of incorporation. That's the extent of our responsibilities and duties here. We can ask for a Cal to get more information from them at a later date, but as far as what we can do and what our responsibilities are, those are them.
Thank you.
Yes, Chairwoman, I'm happy to come to any committee of the whole and give a full presentation on the full process.
That would be wonderful. We'll schedule that within the next 3 weeks because time is going fast. Okay. Commissioner Garza?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just had just a clarification on this. The legislature passed this in order for communities not to be able to opt out. So this is merely affirming that state law that was passed in order for us to come into compliance with it. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Commissioner Dobb?
Thank you, Madam Chair. What happens to this if the ballot proposal fails?
We're all out. No more smart buses. No more.
Okay, so it
no more transit.
completely because of the opt-in thing. Okay, so it will be completely.
Yeah, so in late 2024, the state law, so in Wayne County, so right now currently, Macomb County's all in, Oakland County's all in, Wayne County has opt-out communities. Now in Macomb and Oakland County, they levy their millage through the general taxing authority of the county. In Wayne County, we are closer to our cap. There's a cap that every county has. We're currently at 7.7. For us to levy it during the general taxing authority would thought by the administration's bad governance, and you're getting closer to your cap space. So we utilize the Wayne County Transit Authority. We use the law, the state law that creates the ability for a transit authority to be created. The former transit authority that we had allowed for the ability for local communities to opt out at a city council level or a board of trustee level. Now, some communities put the initiative locally just to ask for a question, but ultimately it was done at a council level or board of trustee level. The population never had a chance to vote on it. So late 24, we amended the state law to remove that ability at the city council level, board of trustee level for communities to opt out and to give the power to the people to be able to have a countywide vote. Now, that's a risk that we're taking as a county because we do it through we do it through the Wayne County Transit Authority. We're going to be all in or we're going to be all out. We have members of TRU with us today. They're here in support, Transportation Riders United. This is an important initiative to keep transit moving. About 4 years ago, I started to really dabble into transportation, and what I've learned is it's honestly the key of unlocking everything. Our economic opportunities, getting people to work, their jobs, getting people to their healthcare appointments, being able to move the senior community around, our veterans community, and individuals that don't have the ability to own a car. But the reality is there's also individuals these days that don't want to own a car. And we have to be able to move people from point A to point B to keep us all moving forward.
Thank you. We'll have a few more questions. Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assad, if for some reason this proposal does not pass, it's all in or all out, how many Wayne County residents would be affected by this if it doesn't pass?
So, we have 1.8 million people in Wayne County, so all 1.8 million people will be affected. Ultimately, the only transportation service, public transportation service that we would have in the county would be DDOT in the city of Detroit. And what this plan calls for is, we had SMART here today given the presentation, but this also has an important part of DDOT as well. Part of the millage that is going to be collected is going to be from the city of Detroit. And what we want is good connectors between DDOT and SMART and to ensure that we have the whole county covered. Currently, right now, about half of our population in the Wayne County does not participate in our transit millage, so about half theoretically.
That was going to be my next question. So about half of the 43 communities chose to opt out.
So currently, we have 17 communities in Wayne County that opt out.
Okay.
And what our plan is to connect all 43 of those communities. But the initiative that we took forward is we're going to be either all in or all out. The reality is there's opt-in communities that are paying for this millage that are not getting a full service, because to be able to run a bus and to work around communities costs money, it costs time, and you get less for what you're paying for in reality. We took a bus ride last year and 24, I feel like time's flying by so quick, and 24 was our state legislator. And we started off in Southgate and we were going down to Woodhaven. And what we found is, we got on the bus took some weird route and it took us up into Trenton and it brought us back onto our route. But then when you got to the borders of Woodhaven, we had to get off the bus to walk to our destination. And we were just taking a 5-mile ride to get to a place to have lunch together. And we all had to get off and walk. So currently, the reality is the communities that are paying for it, they're not getting a full service. And what we believe once this passes, the communities that are paying for it now, their service is only going to get better. And the communities that are going to be included in now are going to be connected to all 43 communities.
Thank you. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, once again recognizing me. I just wondered, there's communities that have services right now that are they're providing locally through SMART, such as Livonia, such as Detroit. Are they going to be eliminated under this plan, or can they? What would they do? Overlap routes? And I understand, and this may be right, it may be wrong, that DDOT would continue to operate and many times over the same lines, the same routes, and that would that eliminate the necessity of collecting the tax on the city of Detroit residents?
This is going to be an addition to everything that's going on right now. Now, a lot of communities claim they have public transportation. What they don't have is public transportation. They have numbers that you call that's only open to their residents, only during certain times, and sometimes you have to meet a certain criteria. What this is DDOT is still going to be operating in the city of Detroit. DDOT focuses on the city of Detroit, and they do have some routes that go out into Livonia and Dearborn and other areas on the east side. SMART and DDOT are coordinating together to make sure there is no duplicates of routes. And there's going to be focus on good connectors and be able to make sure that we got a metropolitan transit system here that's connected. Currently, Oakland County did this in 22. They were successful. Macomb County did it many years ago. Many people think Macomb County was the one that was against the RTA, but the reality is they were the first one to get rid of all their opt-outs. And this is going to be a additional service that will overlap all the local programs that are happening in the local communities. Those are important programs that they have to get their seniors to their community centers. Some of those programs right now are like Macon Transit. Macon Transit is subsidized by the millage money that is paid for by the opt-in communities, but some of that subsidized is going to opt-out communities. The reality is if in Can Township, for instance, they use Macon Transit. This is an important transportation service that I know Jordan could talk more into it. This moves our seniors around to the community centers and be able to pick them up and move them around. That program is only going to get better if this millage passes. Now, if this millage doesn't pass, we got to ask Oakland and Macomb if they're going to fund it.
Last question. I just wanted to state, this is the first time I've seen the articles of incorporation. It was dropped, provided to each of us just a short time ago. So I'm not prepared to vote for it. I am a supporter of public transportation, and I'd like to see something that is going to be equitable for all communities. That is, the cost is going to be equitable for all communities. Within the overall covered area. But anyway, at this time, until we've had greater discussion on this. I just think it's.
And if I could add, it should be noted that right after the state law, the governor passed the bill into law in early 25. Myself, along with SMART, the Regional Transportation Authority, and we visited all 43 communities. We met with all 43 communities, and we started off with the opt-out communities. And what we did is when we went to them, what we found is you're initially met with pushback, right? But what we did is we took data with us to show them how much their community could benefit from this transportation initiative that we're pushing. And what we asked them is before you shut the deal down, help us build it, help us build what you want in case it passes. And what happened is they started interacting and buying into the program because they started to believe and see what the benefits of their communities are. In fact, many of us were surprised by how much support we started to see because now this isn't really, this isn't like our plan. This is like our plan. And it's all of us collectively together. So what we did was we listened to all 43 communities. We then turned it over to SMART. SMART met with the opt-out communities and put together a transportation review plan that was emailed to everyone in the first week of February or the second week of February. You guys received it as well. It was emailed to you guys and we could send that out again. But what we found is there was so much people that were so interested in transportation. And I think for a long time, transportation was divided among almost political lines. And what we're finding right now is we're finding some conservative areas that are really pushing for transit. And I sit on the SMART board. And late last year, I get a call from a Republican legislator in our county that did not support the amendment. And they were lobbying for transit. And I made a joke and asked her, it sounds like you're supportive of transit now, right? But so many people are affected by this. And we are happy to talk to everyone. Anyone that would listen, we will talk to them. And we want to make everybody be a part of this. And we're not trying to, the goal here isn't just to get it over the finish line. The goal is to actually build something that works and connects people and gets people to all the things that they got to be able to do to meet their everyday needs.
Thank you for that. And on Thursday, we did send to commissioners the analysis by our council and by our research department on the article. So it's in our packet that we received on Thursday in preparation of this meeting. Commissioner Peterson-Mayberry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Turpey, that was exactly where I was going around the input. So it's good to hear that you've gone to all the communities. I hope we can make this work for those as we look at the data to see where most of those roads are leading. So I'm hoping those aren't still communities that would opt out of such of an opportunity. The community piece, I'm really big on that part. And so oftentimes if people feel like it's already built before you even come talk to them, then they feel like that they're not a part of this. So if the narrative is that you're building it as you're listening to community, I think that's extremely helpful. When you come to committee and do a presentation, I have some additional questions that I'll ask at that time, but I just wanted to lift that piece up. Thank you.
Commissioner Scott?
I just want to say thank you for all your work on this. Hopefully that we'll come together so that we can have mass transit all over. Same Wayne County here, we're so lax, and I remember working on this for a long time with the writers.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baker McCormick? Stay on this side. Don't go this side.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too agree with mass transit, and I think it's important for us. My question relates to the communities that opted out. I know you said you had community outreach. What did that look like, and how many residents in the opt-out communities attended those meetings? you
Yeah,
have
so
any
our
numbers?
meetings were focused around the mayors and township supervisors and those leaders in those communities. Now, over the last year, we have teamed up with Transportation Riders United, and they've had events in across the county where we participated, and they've held forums to help educate the voters. There will be an education campaign moving forward as we work toward placing this on, it's going to be on the August primary. The Wayne County Transit Authority already voted to place this on the ballot in August.
So all of the efforts to communicate to the public, it was really through the elected officials, is that?
At our meetings were with the elected officials and the township supervisors and their city managers and the people that they had in those meetings. Now, that communicating with the public is going to be an ongoing thing from this point forward. And, you know, we've had those forums with Transportation Riders United to be able to create that ability for people from the public to come and get educated on transportations and the things that we're trying to do around removing our opt-out communities. But we plan on running a full education campaign. We plan on having community meetings where residents could come and voice their concerns and give us feedback. Now, it's important to know when Oakland County did this, they ran the millage, and then after the millage passed, then SMART jumped in and they went to all their communities and met with them after the millage passed. We did not do that. We started meeting last year and we wanted to make sure that we got their feedback and we wanted to hit the ground running if this was successful. We're not going to spend a whole year trying to get feedback. We're already ahead of the game here. We're way ahead. And when we get to a point where we're going to educate the public, we're also going to be hearing their feedback. And this is a very fluid plan. So we're going to be making amendments to it. And, you know, we're not just trying to run something to say we're running it. We want to create a transportation system that actually works for people.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And about 2-3 weeks ago, when I met with True, I did put one pagers in everyone's mailbox about information about what that looks like in their perspective. So everyone should have that one pager. And if you need another copy, I can certainly give you another copy. And that's what True designed to outreach to the public. Okay, on this side, Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the presentation, Deputy CEO Turfy and Mr. Jordan. Is that your name? Mr. Jordan, you as well. Invariably, this is a massive undertaking. And I think that it's high time that Wayne County joined in terms of mass transit. Having said that, massive undertakings normally speak to Herculean costs. So my question, I guess, is I understand capital costs, operating costs, and all of the other costs that are going to be associated with this gigantic project. Our funding, can you give me an estimate on the funding that it's going to require? I know it's Federal Transportation Administration is going to fund once it passes, prayerfully passes, and they're going to give us a huge chunk of money. The state, obviously through grants, and right, people who ride the buses, I guess they're going to charge them a fee to sort of support this, as well as millages and all of the other funding opportunities. So I say that to say this, an estimate on the amount of funding that it's going to cost the county to engage this type of a massive undertaking would be what?
Oh, the millage.
Sorry to take the scenic route.
Yeah, no, I think I understand. So what this plan is, this isn't the end all be all transportation plan for Wayne County. This is connecting our 42 communities. This is the basic foundation that you need to be able to have a transportation plan that works. What this millage will ultimately do, it's 0.98. It's on just under 1 mil. It will collect about $57 million countywide, 57 million. And And what it's going to do is connect all the main routes across the county to be able to have transportation. There also a flex program in areas where it makes sense. And what the flex program is a ride share program, almost like an Uber, in areas where it might not be easy to move buses around. And, people always be afraid of the big buses, right? But Smart doesn't just have big buses. They got big buses, they got middle-sized buses, they got small buses, they even got cars. And what this plan does is going to cover those main routes. Now, Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb are even. And that's why we took the RTA with us. Ben Stupka's behind me. He's here from the RTA. We took him to all the meetings because as we're building this thing for Wayne County, we're also thinking about the region at the same time. And so the second phase of this down the road is going to be able to put us in a position to be able to go after the state of Michigan to get those grants, to go after the federal government to get those grants, to be able to get more resources back to our county without additionally taxing our residents. We're already paying the taxes. We're just not getting the money. It's hard for us to lobby for transportation dollars when we don't even got a full all-in county. You can't get on a bus right now and take Michigan Avenue from downtown Detroit to Canton Township. It just can't happen. And if you think about it, that's as simple as that. It just can't happen. And, you're going to get to the Westland border and you're going to have to get out and you're going to have to figure out how to get the rest of the way, either take an Uber or walk or, call a friend for a ride, and it shouldn't be that way.
Thank you, Deputy CEO. I appreciate the response. And just as a follow-up, this is exciting news for a lot of us. So to that extent, sure would be nice if commissioners who are elected had an opportunity to engage in this process. There's nothing I hate worse than to go into my district and I have no idea that certain folks have been out there engaging in certain conversations. So from my perspective, as an elected official in District Number 11, I'm sure my other commissioners feel the same way. We love to work with you. We love to work with the executive office. That's what I do. That's what we do. But it would be nice if we could be privy to some of the things that are happening in our municipalities so we can face our residents with some intelligence in terms of a discussion instead of saying, who was here, what was said, what was done. So you understand what I'm saying, young man? So
No.
I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
We welcome it.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
our first meeting was with Huron Township. We went to Huron Township first and you were there with us at that.
Yes, I
first
was.
meeting we had. Yep, thank you. But we welcome
I
all the
appreciate that.
collaboration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dobb, and then Commissioner Colleen is going to bring us on home. Commissioner Dobb?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for letting me ask one more question. This is a question actually for, I think, Commission Council or our Commission staff. We got a paper copy of this, the Articles of Incorporation. Is there any substantial difference from this and what was in our packet? And can you explain what the difference are? I've been trying to find the differences.
Through the chair, as the chair mentioned, we converted a PDF version to Word, and there was just some formatting issues. There were some typographical issues, such as some of the L's turned out to be ones.
Oh, okay.
And so those things were fixed after the agenda went out on Thursday.
Okay.
So we just wanted you to have a complete full package of what they look like with all of those small formatting and typographical changes. But no, the actual changes, substantive changes that you see are the strikeouts, and there's no difference between that and what's in your package. But when we make this motion, if we can do it as amended so that we have the right typographical clean version, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Colleen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess for full disclosure, I've been a member of TRU since its founding. Did a lot of work on this before I was on the commission with the Sierra Club. I fully support what's in front of us today, as well as the millage, excuse me, in August. Southeast Michigan is an outlier around the country of urban areas in terms of transit. It's been really difficult here. I won't recapitulate all the fights over funding to get mass transit, which would include the percent of the gas tax in Michigan that should be appropriated by the legislature to mass transit, but they always fall short of that target. Of all the regional mass transit systems around the country, nobody is saying, oh, wait a minute, we're paying too much for this. We should stop this because it does serve the citizens. It's a service. And the fare box is never meant to underwrite the entire cost of the system. Every system is subsidized, right? But it's a public service. It's like water coming to your home, that we provide that. That's part of a functioning, and we're regional, no doubt about it. People are driving all over the region. So to make public transit available, you have to do it on a more comprehensive basis. And I like that this is going in that direction. You can't have a mass transit system with holes all over it because riders just won't trust that system and say, yeah, I want to use that. I can get to where I'm going if I need it. It's always been a problem in public transit where people want to cut back on it. But when you cut back on services, you're also discouraging more and more citizens from using it. Ridership use goes up as availability and reliability of that system improves. So this is not the end all be all by any means for having regional transit in Southeast Michigan that our citizens need. But what it does do is it puts us on a course. It gives us one unified system that we can build on as we're talking and going to the feds and going up to Lansing and going to our voters for more dollars. The better built the system is, the more people use it. The worse built the system is, the fewer people use it. So I'm fully in support. We need, and we have needed for a long time, to get people around this large sprawling. Our metropolitan area is one of the most sprawled metropolitan areas in the country. So to get average citizens around and need where we can go, we need to build a system, and this is a step towards that. So I appreciate it coming before us today. I appreciate the board putting it on the ballot in August for voters. And I strongly encourage my colleagues to approve this today, as well as encouraging the voters to approve the millage come August. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you for your service for the regional transit for all of these years. Because of that, I wanted you to be the last word, but I think Commissioner Baker McCormick has one more question.
I just thought about the question after Commissioner Colleen commented and Commissioner Wilson. The articles of incorporation that we just received, I was scanning over it. It does not provide a commissioner to be appointed to the board. I was just wondering why, if we represent the voters, why we wouldn't have a position on the board. Is there anyone that can answer? Yeah, I'm just looking at the
these articles, correct me if I'm wrong,
members and
Sue.
voting rights.
These were
Article
from
6.
1986, so I don't know.
Right, and
what
as
the
we
thought
amend,
process was in 1986, but
yeah, but
that's
as
how
we
they developed
amend them, I'm just thinking it would seem that we would have a board,
I'll
at
let Sue
least
answer.
one, I don't know.
So the amendment of the Articles of Incorporation is by the Transit Authority Board itself, the Wayne County Transit Authority Board itself. But the amendment that is currently in front of you is just very limited to eliminate the one sentence to make them comply with state law, with the current state law.
So while we're looking at it, I would suggest that we also amend that the commission should have at least one appointee. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
I'm going to defer to Commission Counsel
Okay.
as to,
Thank you, Sue.
So through the chair, no such amendment can take place at this very moment, but I will say you would have to look at state law, you'll have to look at the charter. There are some rules and some guidelines regarding the various boards and who can be appointed and the authority for those appointments. Now, I wasn't here when these were originally done, but I believe they are consistent with our charter currently. I would have to, again, double check state law and give the Corp Council to determine if that was even feasible. And that right now, I'm just not sure that it is.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to look into that. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. So we have a motion by Commissioner Kinlock and support by Commissioner Colleen requesting the resolution amending the WCTA Articles of Incorporation to eliminate the option to opt out of the Wayne County Transit Authority communities. Any further discussion? As amended. As amended. Hearing no further discussion, please vote. Alex gives a thumb up.
Motion carries.
Okay. All right, thank you both for your presentation this morning, and we'll discuss if the commission would like to have a committee of the whole to further discuss. I'll do a poll to see if we want to further discuss or we're satisfied based on what we heard today. Okay, next item, please.
We are on page 12 of the agenda, item B, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 4 items listed.
There a motion? Moved by Commissioner Clemente, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry to approve the resolutions and certificates of appreciation. Any discussion on these items? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Next item, please.
We're on C, memoriams. There are 6 names listed.
Okay, any discussion on the names listed or any added names? Commissioner Kinlock?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd just like to add the name of Mr. LaBill Leach. A resolution will be drafted coming from all commissioners. LaBill Leach has been an active member of the City of Detroit education community and political landscape for 50 years, since his teenage years. His parents were educators in the Detroit public schools. His father was a historian. Nabil was a strategist who understood grassroots politics. He was very engaging and made sure that at the lowest level of the body politic, that voices were heard. So he was very active in making sure that precinct delegates ran for office each year down through the years, and he was very supportive in both the 13th Congressional District and the Michigan Democratic Party. And so I stand in recognizing his passing last week. And as I said, a resolution will be coming from all commissioners in remembrance of him.
Thank you, Commissioner. He was instrumental in my mother's political life, all through her political life. And there will be a celebration luncheon on this Friday at East Lake Church on East Jefferson at 12 o'clock. And all commissioners, of course, are invited to attend to celebrate the life of Nabil Leach. He certainly left a mark here in Detroit and in Wayne County. And we thank God for his life. Thank you for that. Any additional, Commissioner Scott?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank God for his life and all that he was to everybody.
Yes.
In fact, I engaged him many times in my campaign.
Yes, didn't we all?
And so, you know, he was one who had a mind of his own, though.
Yes, he did.
But he was a great guy. And
Yes.
so he worked hard.
Mhm.
because his life surrounded by it, you know, that was it.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. All right.
Thank you,
So
Commissioner.
again,
Yeah,
thank you,
we,
and hopefully all who can could come to his, the luncheon
yes,
to honor him.
celebration of life,
Yes,
absolutely.
celebration of life.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional names? Hearing none, everyone please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you so much. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Public comments.
Okay, is there anyone on Zoom for public comments? One hand raised.
Yes. Okay,
2
so I have to
minutes.
start my video. Okay. Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Good morning, Madam President, Chair Bill, and Commissioners. I'm a constituent in District 2 of Wayne County, and I live in the city of Detroit, and I'm a daily transit rider. I was very encouraged by the comments by this commission, by some of the commissioners, especially my commissioner, Kinlock, and then Commissioner Killeen. Transit is a vital public service, and I rely on it to get to work, to get to be involved in my city, to visit friends, and to grocery shop. However, I can't see my own doctor because my doctor is in Livonia. Now, in any other county in the United States, that wouldn't matter. I would just get on a train or a bus and just get to, for example, Chicago to Cicero if my doctor was in Cicero, Illinois. I can't get to my doctor. As far as I can go is Middle Belt using the DDOT system. And by grace, Detroit does not charge Livonia or any of outside of suburban communities service to use DDOT service. But there's none of that in kind to our Detroit residents that work in the opt-out communities where we have to be at work at time. We have to make sure your coffee is served on time, your meals, your restaurants. A lot of the workers that you see that are invisible use transit to get out there. I will say this. I'm tired of paying $80 to $90 to $120 on top of my copay just to use Uber and Lyft just so I can see my doctor. I have a chronic condition, and driving it exacerbates it. So I get wrong readings on my medical readings for that. If I were able to take transit to all the way to Farmington Road, where my doctor is, who is board certified over 30 years, who has helped my condition over the past 10 years, I would be great. I wouldn't have wrong high blood pressure readings because I'm driving on a freeway. I don't drive often. I have a license as well. I'm disconnected from my doctor in 2026 in Wayne County. I support this measure because I would be able to maintain my health. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. We appreciate it. Any additional on Zoom? Okay.
Hi, yes, my name is Patty Fedewa, and I want to thank the commission for handling this and to get things approved as soon as possible. We need to campaign, we need to get moving on this whole process because although communities have been contacted, but not everybody in the community realizes this is even an issue that's going to be on the ballot. And time, as they say, time is a wasting. So I urge this chamber to consider this as these issues as soon as possible and get our new bylaws and get the campaign moving because we need this. It's hard to get around. Just think about giving up your car for the day and what that actually means, especially if you live in some of these further communities. These are important issues for all of us. Everybody is always an injury or an illness or an accident away from needing transit. And if other people are getting to where they need to go, as Renard just mentioned, that helps the rest of us. Everybody touches somebody who uses transit, even when we're not using it every day. It's something that makes our community move and it makes our community more desirable to other businesses, to people who want to move here, to all the things we need and want for our community. So I urge quick adoption. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else on Zoom? Anyone else on Zoom? Anyone in the chambers? We have a couple of cards, Madam Clerk.
Megan Owens.
Hello. Thank you so much. I want to, for the opportunity, Chair, Commissioners, I want to thank the County Executive's Office for all of the work they've been doing on this for several years, recognizing the importance of public transit for every part of our community, and for their focus on recognizing every community in Wayne County is different, but every community has public transit needs, and working hard with SMART and with DDOT and with the Regional Transit Authority to figure out how to make sure that this transit service, well, it will be a modest service, will connect everyone throughout the region. As was mentioned, we at Transportation Riders United are very excited about this. We have been doing a lot of outreach, both town halls and forums and local community meetups and presentations to civic groups. And I appreciate the many of you who have met with my team. And I would love to ask each of you, you are very important community leaders and influencers. I would love to reach out and talk with each of you about how can we best engage and educate your community? How can we, where can we make presentations? What groups should we be speaking with? How can we make sure everyone across your communities recognize that this is coming up on the ballot and the benefits that it will provide, and of course address any misperceptions, or as well as listen to concerns and suggestions. So certainly my team will be reaching out, and don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions or any opportunities to educate and engage the community over these next couple of months. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for your leadership with this, and we will be reaching out to you to give you some community groups that Drew can come out and speak to. That'll be very helpful. Card?
John Waterman and students.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, thank you very much for a moment. This is going to be a little different to help get the ideas expressed by the students I'm working with here. I'm going to help support them during their interaction with this, talking about transit. I'm the executive director and founder of PEAK, an organization that's dedicated to the empowerment of people with individuals with disabilities through active modes of transportation, biking, busing, and walking. First, I have Jeremy. Your name is?
My name is Jeremy Tubbs.
And Jeremy, where do you live?
Woodhaven.
Haven. Have you been working on learning how to use the bus?
Yes, I have.
Do you have a disability?
Yes, reading and writing is tough.
Yeah, so and that's called a cognitive impairment?
Yep.
Do you remember we first met? That was kind of tough to say, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A little embarrassing. People ever make fun of you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. And so your way to get around, do you want to be independent?
Yes.
And so you need transit to get around.
Yeah.
Does a bus come to your community?
No, it doesn't.
And this committee, they just now moved forward some stuff to get buses into your community. What do you think about that?
I think it's good.
Would you like to invite these guys to ride with us?
Yes, I would.
Excellent. And next we have Amos.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kenneth Hunt, and I'm from Awana, and I have a disability as well, and my disability is cerebral palsy.
And so Kenneth, what does cerebral palsy do for you?
It affects my mobility to speak. Like, I have a little bit of speech impairment, my walking, and also my balance.
Do you have a driver's license?
No.
Where do you live?
I live in Wyandotte.
And what do you, have you learned how to take the bus?
Yes.
Do you ride a trike in the community?
Yes.
And when you evaluate roads, how do you evaluate?
Mean or nice.
Mean or nice roads. And so looking at how we design our roads, how we design our infrastructure, we need nice transportation. We need to invest in ways all community members Ken. Do you have a bus in your community?
Yes,
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ken.
thank you.
Sean? Your name is?
Sean Cosman,
Sean Cosman. And where do you live, Sean Cosman?
Canton, Michigan.
Canton, Michigan. Do you have a bus in your community?
Nope,
How do you get around right now?
I'm awake.
On your bike? Can you tell the people what road you live on?
Michigan hierarchy.
Michigan and Haggerty. Are those mean roads or nice roads?
Mean,
Mean roads. What makes them mean?
too many cars and trucks,
Too many cars and trucks. And what are those cars and trucks doing?
going too fast.
Would it be safer for you to get on a bus to travel in your community?
Yes,
Would you like to see a bus come to your community?
yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Sean. And next? Tria, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Taria Sims from Lincoln Park, Michigan.
And Tria, do you have a disability?
Yes.
What is that?
A cognitive impairment, which means reading and writing is tough.
And you've come a long ways, haven't you? In school, were you picked on?
Yes.
Yes. And there was a stage you couldn't even say that without just breaking down, right, and crying.
Right.
And now, are you proud?
Yes.
Are you proud of your disability?
Yes.
It's still scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park. Do you have transit in your community?
Yeah.
Do you take the bus to places?
Yes.
To your hospital?
Yes.
Can you go to Jeremy's house?
No,
Why?
there's no bus.
Peak has evolved as an agency. I was a lot of you guys as teachers, right?
Yeah.
Was I your teacher?
Yes.
Came in that loud voice, scared everyone?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm a great teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's a better teacher?
Me.
You're a better teacher than I am?
Yeah.
Explain that.
Because me and other students face the same disability.
And so one of the things we have found as an organization is there's a lot of time being spent, brainiacs, right?
Yeah.
Who I'm kind of included in, tell people with disabilities what they need to know. And we teach things that aren't broken down enough. We teach concepts that don't make sense. If Tria can teach this in the schools,
Right.
they do an amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
In fact, there's a national group looking at you and going to be doing a video regarding you teaching your former classmates with disabilities at Roosevelt High School how to travel.
Yep.
So, and this is really that next step where Peak is pushing the limits and Wayne County is. We need a system that everyone can travel in. It should not be a zip code. It is not going to look the same. Tria, it's going to take more training.
Right.
When we start looking at vehicles that are different, that aren't regular buses, students are going to need to learn how to use those. Thank you, guys, so much.
So John, before you sit down, I wanted to make sure that we recognize and we thank you and your students for coming here. We appreciate it. And you just hit home on the fact on how important transit is for all communities and that we all are connected. So again, students, thank you for coming. Let's give them another round of applause. I know it's sometimes scary talking in front of people. Thank you, John, for what you do. This is your second time here, so we appreciate you being here again.
Thank you so much. And any commissioner that wants to do a ride along and have Tria teach you how she uses the system, we'd encourage it. Yeah. Thank you. We will connect.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless each of you. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, were there any additional? No additional cards, but if there are any additional public comments, you can come to the microphone, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Joel Batterman. I serve as campaigns manager for Transportation Riders United. I actually took the bus down here today. It's very nice. I was able to do some email on the way in. Wish that more people had that opportunity. I just wanted to emphasize that, this is to some extent about buses, small buses, large buses, vans that are used for the flex service. But ultimately, as I think we've been hearing, it's really about people and making sure that everyone in this county can have opportunities to reach their full potential. When I think about the need for countywide transit, I think of the Livonia resident with a disability who I've met, who currently, given the limited transit in Livonia, is only able to get around until I believe 6:30 p.m. only on weekdays, which are that's the time window that the existing transit service in Livonia runs. I think of the blind gentleman that I met from Highland Park, a community that has paid into the SMART system for many, many years. He was attending Madonna, getting a master's at Madonna University in Livonia, but he had to stop when Livonia opted out of SMART and was not able to complete his degree. I think of all the folks living in Detroit, in Dearborn, Westland, other places that are not able to get to jobs in some of these major job centers like Canton and Livonia. There are so many people who would benefit from expanded transit in Wayne County. And I think, as has been said, this proposal is not an end-all be-all. It's less than 1 mil. There are many communities in Michigan that pay considerably more for transit, that invest more in transit. Ann Arbor invests about 4 mils. So this proposal will not itself solve all of our transportation problems in the region, but it's an essential first step to make sure that folks can get where they need to go. And it's really, as has been said, it's time for Wayne County to join the 21st century and provide regional transit for everyone who needs it. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else in the audience for public comments? Anyone else? Any emails?
I have one email. It's from Susan Mark. Hello, I want to urge commissioners to vote yes on the resolution opposing the American Citizens for Voting. I believe this will limit working people, disabled people, and women who have changed their name or people who have lost their documents due to natural disasters from voting and maintaining our democracy. Thank you for listening and your constituents and not politicians.
One?
Yes.
Okay. One more time for public comments. Public comments. Public comments. Okay, thank you. Next item?
Reconsiderations.
There are none.
Remarks by members.
Remarks by members. Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, before I make my prepared remarks, I just want to say this. This testimony by these students, the physically challenged, really broke my heart. And this will emphasize what I'm about to share about the conflict that's going on in the Middle East. We really have our priorities backward in this country. Madam Chair, I wasn't here on March 19th for the full board meeting. I would like to begin with something that should shake every single one of us. On March 12th, a synagogue in West Bloomfield was attacked. Let me be absolutely clear. There's no justification, none, for violence against a house of worship. These sacred places where people go to pray, to reflect, to find peace. The idea that anyone should feel afraid to walking into a synagogue, a mosque, a church, or any place of faith is unacceptable. We condemn violence against all people. An attack on one faith is an attack on all of us. Today, we stand firmly with our Jewish neighbors, not just in words, but in our commitment to confront hate wherever it exists. What happened at the synagogue on March 12th is an isolated incident, and political leaders in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights came out strongly with statements of condemnations. My words here this morning echo the sentiments of all the leaders in our communities. Madam Chair, I would like to express my opposition to this war in the Middle East. While our communities here are dealing with fear and violence, something else is happening, something that just is dangerous. Thousands of miles away, our country is engaged in yet another war, this time with Iran. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This war is wrong. It's illegal. It's immoral. And it's a complete betrayal of the American people. The case for this war was not made, and Congress did not authorize it. We were not supposed to be here. We had negotiations. We had diplomacy. We had an agreement in 2015 during the Obama administration that put real limits and real oversight on Iran's nuclear program. That path was working. It was abandoned by our current president, and now we are witnessing the consequences of that failure. And again, we have to ask the question no one in Washington wants to answer. Who is paying the price? It's not the politicians. It is not the people beating the drums of war from comfortable offices. It is our American soldiers. It is our veterans. It is American families. It is innocent people across the world who had nothing to do with any of this. This war, ladies and gentlemen, is costing us $1 billion every single day. That is $38 billion already gone. While people here are drowning in debts, and families are one paycheck away from losing everything. Many cannot afford rent, and we still lack affordable housing. Inflation and grocery costs continue to rise, and seniors are forced to choose between food and medication. $38 billion could have transformed lives here at home in the United States. It could have rebuilt our crumbling infrastructure. It could have delivered clean water to communities still dealing with toxic pipes. It could have put roofs over the heads of families who do not know where they will sleep next month. Instead, it's being spent on destruction, and for what? Our leaders in Washington stand up and talk about priorities, but their actions tell the truth. And the truth is this: they are choosing war over their own people. That is unacceptable. Our elected officials in Washington are supposed to serve the American people, not foreign interests. And I'm not including all our elected officials, most of them. Not political agendas, not endless conflicts with no clear purpose. America First is not supposed to be a slogan you chant at rallies. It's supposed to mean something. It's supposed to guide decisions. And right now, it is clearly not. And let me say this as plainly as I possibly can. Our troops, the American troops, are not disposable. Their lives are not bargaining chips. They should never, ever be sent into harm's way for wars that do not make this country safer. War is not abstract. It is not just numbers on a page. It is funerals. It's folded flags. It is families shattered forever. And beyond our borders, the suffering is even more devastating. In my native country of Lebanon, over 1 million people have been displaced. More than 1,500 civilians are dead. Families are running for their lives in the middle of the night, leaving everything behind. Parents are trying to protect their children with nothing, no homes, no security, no certainty. People are sleeping in tents on the side of the roads, wondering if they will survive the next day. This is what war does. It destroys, it displaces, it dehumanizes, and yet here we are choosing it again. Enough of the endless wars, enough of the empty promises, enough of putting the American people last. It is time to choose a different path, a path of diplomacy over destruction, a path of accountability over recklessness, a path that actually invests in the American people. We can rebuild our communities, we can protect our people, we can lead with strength, but without leading with war. It is time to invest in peace. It's time to invest in our people. It is time to put America first, not last. Finally, I respectfully ask that my remarks be made part of this permanent record on Wayne County records. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Commissioner. We appreciate your comments, and I think many of us agree wholeheartedly with your comments. Thank you so much. Additional remarks by members, Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks to my colleague for his vulnerability and transparency and his sentiment. Thank you so much. I also want to lift up around these deed fraud. So just the Office of Register of Deeds, I want to commend them. There were several residents in my district particularly who reached out, who were able to get some assistance and get their home saved. We do not know that this is a huge problem. So we are trying to make residents aware, but I think it's important that we recognize that there were hundreds of people who were coming through that office in the last couple of days. And so I just wanted to lift up the Register of Deeds office. Also, thanking all of those who are working collectively together to address the deed fraud event. You know, as a commissioner, it's ironic that I had not even put an alert on my own home. And so I think it's important that people understand that that is a 5-minute process to put an alert on your property and all the properties that you own. So if there's an attempt for someone to try to manipulate or steal your deed, then you will get that alert. This problem is a huge problem. We've talked about it in committee, so I'm looking forward to a solution very soon as it relates to all of those who have a hand and a voice in the process. So thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to lift that up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Look forward to our event with the ROD at the end of the month. Thank you. Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Not to elongate the meeting, I know everybody's ready to get up out of here, but I just want to say this. My brother up here, Sam Beidoun, my colleague, Vice Chair, Pro Tem, excuse me. I can appreciate what you just enunciated to the group, and I support you 150%, brother, in what you just stated, because there are a lot of issues that we all are facing because of what's happening out of Washington, D.C. And I must emphasize that we all understand that elections have consequences. And now we're seeing the consequences of the election in 2024. I say that to say this. Personally, as a resident of Romulus for the last 26 years, I look out my back window and I see a detention center. I see a warehouse. It's not a detention center yet because I'm fighting like heck to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I know the Wayne County Commission doesn't have legal authority to approve a purchase, a sale, whatever the case may be. We don't have legal authority. But I, as a resident in Romulus, have legal authority for 26 years. So I'm standing out in front, fighting against this atrocity, this unspeakable and unimaginable treachery that has been engaged on the citizens of Romulus, down the street from a kindergarten, across the street from businesses and residential areas. You're talking about repurposing a warehouse that's zoned for industrial and commercial usage, not a prison. To me, that's absolutely appalling. And I want to say I thank the mayor, who I work with closely, Mayor McCrate out in Romulus, who I worked with when I was a city council member. He's fighting his butt off. And I want to thank Dana Nessa, who introduced a lawsuit about 10 days ago to try and engage an injunction from the courts to stop this facility from being repurposed. So from detention centers to data centers to roads and bridges and culverts and flooding and all of the things that come, we need to continue to fight to try to improve the lives of the residents, not only in Wayne County, but throughout our country. So we as leaders, we have a task. And I'm preaching to the choir. We have a task. And me as a UAW member for the last 45 years, I was tasked with fighting for the rights of UAW members, Ford, Stellantis, GM, doing whatever I could to make sure that they had better wages, better benefits, better conditions of employment, and all of the things that are associated with being represented. I feel compelled from my experiences, from my past, to continue that fight in Wayne County, to fight for those who are marginalized, who are voiceless, who can't speak for themselves. So I'm going to close by saying this. I'm honored to be here today as a Wayne County Commissioner. I'm honored to work with this esteemed group of commissioners who are fighting like heck to make sure that our residents are properly represented. And equally important, I'm honored to work with you, Madam Chair, because you are doing an excellent job engaging in some of the difficulties that our citizens are facing. And you've come forth with great policies and great vibes, great courage. And I appreciate the sort of impetus that you place on me when I send you an email, I send you a text, and you respond immediately, and you always have my back. So I say all that to say this. Thank you all for doing what you do. Continue to fight, because remember, if you don't put up a fight, you're guaranteed to lose. If you do put up a fight, you just might win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Amen to that.
Thank you. Sorry, I got a little passionate.
No,
but
I
thank
love
you.
it. No,
Thank
thank you. We appreciate those
My man
comments.
Turfy, that's my man. All right. Thank you, sir.
Any additional remarks by members? Any additional remarks by members? I think we've had a very productive meeting today. And I want to thank each of you again for being flexible in scheduling. Please note that our next meeting will be a week from today. That meeting is scheduled by the state of Michigan. It's called our equalization meeting. So we will have on the agenda the equalization report. And actually, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be postponed, but we have to have the meeting per the state. But I think our assessor was going to recess after that meeting. He needs to get some additional documents. But we will meet on next Tuesday and dispose of the item that you all are going to meet on tomorrow and Thursday. So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, thank you all so much. Meeting adjourned.